Hi, I'm Claire and I just returned from a road trip along the Wild Atlantic Way where I took a boat out to visit a small abandoned island that once housed a small Irish-speaking community until tragedy struck. While I was on my road trip in Mayo recently, I hopped aboard a Belmullet boat charter over to Inishkea Island South, captained by Sean, with a guided tour given by his daughter, Kia.
And then if you look to this side of the boat, you will see the village of Fallmore, and that's where you'll find the remains of St Deirbhile's church. So the legend is that if you go through the church window 3 times, then you'll never drown at sea. So it's kind of a nice thing to do if you're exploring the area afterwards. If you look for a black line, they're actually bales. Just below it, you'll see St Deirbhile as well. So have you heard of St Deirbhile before? The legend goes that St Deirbhile was this woman from County Kildare, and this man had fallen in love with her. Now apparently Deirbhile hated the man and did not want to marry him whatsoever. So what Deirbhile decided to do was to run away from home. So she ran away from County Kildare and ended up here in Fallmore along the Belmullet Peninsula. The man is still following her. So Deirbhile stops at the site of the well and she asks the man, "Why are you so mad to marry me? What's the thing you like about me the most?" And the man says to Deirbhile, "Oh Deirbhile, it's your beautiful eyes." So what does Deirbhile do? She pulls her eyes out of her head and throws them at the man. The poor man is absolutely disgusted. So he runs away back to Kildare. But what Deirbhile does then is she searches the ground for her eyes, and when she finds them, she picks them up as you would, and she washes them in the water of a nearby well and puts them back in like nothing happened. So the story goes that St Deirbhile's well in Fallmore is a cure for your eyes.
The South Island is easier for visitors to get to as there's a little pier. You'll often see seals, dolphins and porpoises on the way over, and on the island there are lots and lots of sheep. We got about 3 hours to explore on the island, which included a guided tour and meandering time.
Welcome to Inishkea, Fáilte Ilan Inishkea. Now the most people that would have ever lived here was around 300 people. Now the islanders did leave the island in the 1930s. One of the main reasons would have been because of the 1927 drowning that happened on the island.
Kia didn't want me to record a whole tour, so you will have to go and visit the island yourself. But I do recommend a visit as it's actually one of the least visited islands in Ireland. That's hard to say.
That was really interesting. Having my lunch on the island, it was actually so lovely of them to make me a lunch, because pure and utter tourist didn't bring food. So bring food when you're doing this, because there are no shops anywhere near. Hard to believe this was once like a thriving community, just cut off from the world. It's nice to see that some of the houses are being done up. People are using them as holiday homes, kind of. Apparently there was a pub and a shop. The shop basically, you know, had like sugar, non-perishables, and the pub basically had poaching that they made themselves. I'd say that would have been potent. It's so quiet, and the sun is obviously splitting the stones, which is funnily enough an expression that comes from Irish, because we're in a Gaeltacht area. Everyone on this island would have spoke Irish back in the day. God, it's so hot. This is the kind of day you wanna be in Ireland for.
During the tour I learned things like the islanders used to survive on their own produce and as a result weren't affected by the famine, and in fact used to provide food back to the mainland. It was Ireland's only whaling station in the 20th century, and the school at one point had up to 60 kids from Inishkea North and South Islands enrolled in the school. Although whether or not the North Island kids went to school was entirely dependent on the sea conditions that day. Sadly, the island was abandoned in the 1920s after a number of young fishermen drowned and the community decided to come ashore to the mainland. The houses on the island belonged to the descendants of those that left the island, and unfortunately a lot of them are in various states of disrepair. However, it's good to see that some people are investing in restoring the cottages to their former glory, and there's even one that you can stay in for the night. This island is easily one of the least visited islands in Ireland, and it's a real time capsule off the coast of Mayo and well worth a visit. On my road trip home, yes, I'm from Mayo. Have I not mentioned that before? Mayo for Sam. I went to the Flacciole, the Ballina Salmon Festival. I took a guided tour of Ballina and of the Cage of Fields. I went and cut turf with the Belderry Valley Experience. I took a dip in the Belmullet tidal pool, and I took an Irish language surfing lesson in the Gaeltacht. which is the designated area in which Irish is the first language. Subscribe to see those videos coming out soon, and if you liked this video, you might like either of my previous road trip videos. Thank you so much to my patrons for funding everything I do on this channel. For early access, extra videos and exclusive live streams, please consider becoming a patron. Link is down below in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Slán slán.